Welcome. In this episode, we're going to teach you what you need for your tiny house shop. We also have an incredible story of how we lost our first shop and a reveal of the new shop. Now, I don't want to just talk about it though. I want to tell you the story in the car on the way over, and then I'm going to show you it. Let's go. All right, let's go for a drive. God, it's actually a little bit cold out. Living in Canada with a tiny house isn't always easy, but it's not as hard as you might think. I kind of love it, especially out in the countryside. I find that there's a lot more spaces for tiny homes than you would think, especially in the country. It's pretty easy, especially if you're off grid. So anyways, you see how I'm set up? I love it. All right, let's jump in the car. Let's go for a spin over to the shop. I'm gonna tell you the story on the way there. So we're going over to the shop. It's about a 40-minute drive from here, actually. So I gotta tell you a story on the way over. And that's how we got a shop and then lost it. So we gotta go back a bit, and we're gonna explain someone on our team now. If you jump to the website, information is down below, you can see our whole team. And one of the members of the team is Gilbert. Gilbert is a good friend of mine, and I actually ran a bunch of workshops at his house. He has this amazing acreage. It was a well-suited location venue for running my workshops, and I ran one of my first tiny house workshops there. He invited me to build my tiny house there, and I built half of my house at his property. I had an outdoor setup, and we propped up the trailer and leveled it out and built most of the house, the shell. We did the framing, did the sheathing, did the house wrap. It was a lot of fun building my house with Gilbert and at his property and getting to know him. And so I was really excited when this project picked up, and I thought, where are we going to build the tiny house master plan? Well, of course, I got to reach out to Gilbert. I got to see if we could build the house there. So I reached out to him. I went out there, I met up with him, and he said, let's do this. So once Gilbert was on the team, I invited the rest of the team to come on and see the shop and actually organize a cleanup. And we had this amazing heart-touching day together, and then tragedy struck.
All 9, company number 5 back up, request with 7 on standby quarters for the structure fire.
Plain and simple, the shop burnt down. And it was my fault. I was cleaning up and sweeping and vacuuming and taking the ashes out of the stove like I normally do. I've done for 250 times in the past 12 years. And I go dump them in the back in a snowbank or in the little swamp where I sensed they would be safe. They always have been. But it caught fire to the grass, and the grass caught fire to the styrofoam. Styrofoam caught the roof, and then from there it just spread like wildfire. The fire was about 40 feet up in the air, and a neighbor phoned me 2 minutes after he phoned 911 and said, your shop's on fire. And I rushed into this bay and pulled out my diesel truck, and my neighbors came and physically grabbed me from going back in there, picking the other white truck, the farm vehicle we have, or anything else that was in the shop, because there's so many precious items to me. And within half an hour, we saw the whole place just explode. And fire trucks arrived, 8 of them, and couldn't put it out. It was just too intense. They couldn't save anything. Anyway, it's an end of an era. I don't know what the next phase of, I plan on living on this land at this time, but I might not physically or emotionally or financially be able to afford it. I most likely not able to rebuild the shop. I lost a lot of my stuff and projects and 40 years of history from my ancestors, my dad, my family. It just hurts.
Been a heavy day, eh? Heavy week. Yeah, we'll get through this. We'll get through this and we'll bounce back and be healthier than before.
Pretty heavy, eh? But you know what? There's opportunity in everything. And I did not want to lose the opportunity to have this man a part of our project. So Gilbert is going to be on this show. Even in our new shop, he's too full of information, knowledge, and character to not bless the show and be a part of the team. So he'll be around. Furthermore, I want to help Gilbert get back on his feet. The whole team does. This was a traumatic event, but it's also in those times that we sometimes find community. So I want to put a call out and ask for your generous donations to help Gilbert build up his shop again. Even if it's just enough to get started, to start building more dancing men and wooden spoons for kids. All the donations from Kofi for this week are going to go to Gilbert. And if you're watching this into the future, you can put a note in your donation to say that you want that money to go to Gilbert, and I'll make sure he gets it. All right, guys, we're arriving at Electric Horsepower. Let's go meet up with Kyle and check out the shop. Yo, it's going all right. How you doing? All right. So yeah, we've got a bit of ground to cover today. I want to give everyone a tour of the shop and talk about why this place is so phenomenal. And look, we've got this like huge area in here as well with a little mini kitchenette and a long table. But this room, this is the room that's got me especially excited because we did not expect this. We got a conference room. We got whiteboards and a big TV so that we can actually put on presentations and do training in here when COVID maybe abates a bit. This is the energy station. Very important piece of machinery in a shop and with a team. I'm particularly excited also because we have an office here, and really that's invaluable to have an extra place to come and do recordings. So you're going to be seeing me breaking things, but you're also going to be seeing shots that happen in here. So we got a whiteboard. We're going to set up the green screen in here as well. We'll have a little diary spot so the students can report back to you, letting you know how the project is going. Ta-da! There's like so much room. So amazing. Like this is one of the things that's so important for a tiny house shop is a door that's the right size. And you need to have 13 6" if you're building to your max height for a tiny house. So having a door of that size, did we measure that? It was like
I think it was
like a 16-foot door or something?
Yeah, I think it's 14 or 16. I'm pretty sure it's 16 feet is what I measured it at.
Yeah, so we got room to spare. Yeah. We can pull up the solar panels and drive in. All right, it's just one measly little small little box or two here, but they're very important boxes. This is our equipment and tape system for our zip panels. So we've got those zip insulated panels from Huber Woods, and they're gonna have a whole bunch of panels going here soon. That's the next arrival from them. So yeah, there's a lot. I mean, there's a dream shop, and I gotta say, this is pretty darn close. There's room to work on all sides. There's that big door. We're protected from the rain and the elements. It's heated. It's got all these extra areas for storage of materials. Gilbert's shop was going to be amazing in terms of character and having so much immediately at our fingertips, but you gotta admit, there's a lot of room here, and that's a huge boon for anyone for building a tiny house. There's a lot of things you can ask for a tiny house shop. But in the cold climate, it's incredibly hard to build outside. So yes, getting appropriate shelter so you can protect your materials, protect your tools, and protect your people. All good ideas. So that is one of the huge benefits of this shop location, that we have this crazy big door behind us, which you will need for your tiny house as well. It's also a huge benefit. These are some of the main things you need for your tiny house shop. Take into consideration room on the sides. You're gonna be siding your house and you need room for you to move around with materials. It's another good consideration, and we're so fortunate in here to have that extra couple feet on either side, so we're not bumping up against the racks. Well, Kyle, I gotta say thank you. This is awesome to be here, working with you guys as a celebrated sponsor. Thank you so much for giving us a shop to work out of.
Yeah, no problem. Hopefully the build goes well and we all get it done, right?
That's right. And guys, we're almost ready to start using the shop. We gotta go learn how to pick up a trailer still, and then we gotta go pick it up. So coming still yet on future episodes. Make sure to subscribe down below if you want to see this whole story continue to unfold. All the social media links are down there, and Electric Horsepower's website. I'm so close. I'm about to hit the plastic. Oh,